is Disney monothematic? They're all the same. There is the main character, the villain is conceptual, and sometimes it's a twist villain because they had to add a physical tension. Disney, I think, is known for being really monothematic and really unrealistic because like the whole stories were always about the princess that has a romance and also about fighting the villain. So like this really manichaeistic view of life with the good and the evil in two really separated boxes. I think we all started to understand like while living that maybe it's not always that easy. Yeah. And also that maybe not the first person you met in your life is the right person to get married with like the week after, maybe. So I think we are facing a new era of Disney cartoons where Disney is trying to create new stories with different tropes. And personally, I think that's good because we all need like some variety of stories. But what is really happening, it's not just that. Like I think Disney is not really finding new stories, but I think Disney is finding a new monothematic trope. So I'm going to include Pixar because even if it started in a really different way from Disney, I think like in the last years, Pixar is joining this Disney trend, facing always the same topic inside the movies. But let's give a look to the last releases. I'm going to start from The Brave. The Brave is a fucking really creaky. It's crazy how much this movie is interesting because it's messy, like because the plot that doesn't make any sense. Like it's like having two different plots stuck together, and the first one was better, which is the worst part. It's still something that will never be replaced in the history of cartoons because we all know that she's the first princess that does not end getting married. And that doesn't even have a love interest. Like it's something totally crazy for people that were always used to see that. So these movies, I think it's full of colors and of life for how much we could spend hours talking about it. Today we're going to face it thinking about the themes. The main character is a girl, she's a princess, but she's really determined, she is self-assured, she is strong, and she really, really wants to be free. The whole story is about the relation between the girl, Merida, and her mom. There is not a real villain. The villain, it's actually the misunderstanding and the lack of acceptance. And like the physical villain that we have, Mordu, it's more about, creating tension and creating unity in the plot. Like, I think he's the only thing that unites the two plots that created the movie. But, like, the real the real problem is not a physical villain. Like, it's a conceptual villain. And the happy ending is about the main character uniting with the family. So Frozen is a phenomenon that we'll never understand, because I still don't get why it was more famous than Tangled and then The Princess and the Frog and Merida. Like, yeah, maybe that, but still it's crazy for how famous it is. And I think it's not the best of Disney at all. It's the first time we have a queen as main character, which is Elsa. Her main focus inside the story is not a love interest, but she is facing a crisis about how to deal with her powers and still be integrated in a society. This story is about an inner problem of the main character, and also about the relation she has with her sister, so with her family. The villain is conceptual here too. Like, the real problem is made by something that cannot be touched. Then we have a physical villain that just appears in the end. The happy ending is about Elsa dealing with herself and with her powers, and also reuniting with her sister and so her family. Then we have Coco. Like, I could not cry more for a movie in my whole life, and I think this will not change. I was in the theater and there was this 11-year-old girl close to me, and I was, I guess, 15, and I couldn't stand up. Like, the movie was ended, but I could not do anything else but crying. And this little girl close to me, she was as serious as fuck, and it was weird. But how could she not cry? Coco is a really deep movie about family. The main character does not have a love interest. The main character has a problem that concerns his relation with his family. The whole plot is about reuniting this division. The villain is a conceptual villain, and in the end, there is a physical villain that creates tension, but is not the real problem of the story. I think the fact that love is faced in this movie through the secondary characters is really clever, because like you have an adventure story that is based on, you know, finding your own path, and also going in a totally new world, crazy world with awesome lights. But we can still face the topic of love, which I think every human wants to face a little bit, because like it really moves us. But like it's not the main focus, like it's not all about love, but you still have love. And I think that that's great, because the point of the Mono-Thematic Disney was that like basically love was always a little bit the main character of the story, which sometimes is totally fine, but like you have also to realize that life is many things, not just one. And so I think it's great when movies mix emotions, mix moments, mix animation techniques. The happy ending is about the main character uniting with his family, and also all the characters reuniting with their families. Then we go to recent years and we get Raya and the Last Dragon. So Raya is a princess, and she is really strong and determined, and she has not a love interest, and she, you know, I think you have getting used to this now, right? So you're kind of seeing what I'm talking about in this video, okay? The main topic of the story is fixing the separation between people, and also about the girl that has to reunite with her family. Crazy, unexpected. She has to reunite with her dad because he has been taken by the shadows, by the angry shadows, by the shadows that were born from anger. And so she basically has to face a huge journey with a blue dragon to find blue rocks. And she has, like, you know, to save the world. The villain is conceptual, and also there is a physical villain that basically just has the exactly same aim that Raya has, but she wants to do that for another team. So basically they want to do the same. It's really rare. Like, think about another movie where the bad guy and the good guy want to do the same thing. And I think that's clever, not only because it's new, but also because it makes you think how stupid the humans are, because they want to do the same thing. Why they don't just unite and do that instead of like fighting each other? It really puts a light on human stupidity. Problem is not only led by this villain, by Namari, because the villain is also a little bit Raya, because like they are doing the same mistake, which is like not collaborating. So the problem is conceptual and it is shared. The happy ending is about reuniting with their families. Everyone unites with their families, and also they understand how much collaboration is important. Encanto, oh my god, have you not heard about Encanto? You know, really hidden movie. No, I'm joking, it's really famous, and you know. And like the story is about the girl that has a bad relation with the family. With the family, yes. She wants to save the family because the house they live in is falling apart, and it means that the whole energy that is like saving them is falling apart. So she is really strong, she's independent, it's really cute, she's really quirky, and I think that's the last step of feminism, because like in the first years of cinema feminism, it seemed that like girls had to be, you know, super strong, super good, super, which I can understand, but I think it's not actually the point. Like, the point is not that the girls are super. The point is everyone is naturally free to be everything a human being can be. Like, girls can be quirky, you know, girls can be cute, girls can be angry, girls can be with glasses, you know, like she's the first girl main character with glasses, like Mirabelle from Encanto. Crazy. The family is falling apart, but no one actually knows why. So like the villain of the movie is the first conceptual twist villain, the lack of understanding and the perfectionism that grandma has towards the other members. She doesn't really see the others, you know, in the avatar sense, I see you. Like, she doesn't see them. At the beginning, we have no idea that the problem of the family comes from the family. In the first Disney movies, the problems always came from outside, you know. I think it's genius to like having a Disney movies that says that the family problem is the family. The happy ending is about them reuniting with the family. Then we arrive to the last movie I'm going to talk about, which is Turning Red. The story is about this girl, like really young girl. She goes to middle school, I guess, and she is quirky, she's determined, she's strong but shy, so like her strength is not always shown. She has problems with her, and I want you all to scream it, family! May has to find the strength to find meeting point with her mom. The villain is the tension, the separation among the family and between these two women. The happy ending is about the main character reuniting with them. So now I'm saying, fuck Disney, you can't be so monothematical, yeah? Like, you know, I told you about the plots of the last releases, and they're all the same. There is the main character, the villain is conceptual, and sometimes it's a twist villain because they had to add a physical tension. And also the ending is about reuniting with the family. So you see what Disney is doing. Disney is taking away the romance plot because it was too much used, but they are simply turning it into another monothematic trope, which is family, because they have built a whole industry on emotions and what gives emotion to people. Love and family, guys. Like, it's love, it's always love, but like once it was among two people, now it's among many people. But that's the same thing. It's not that Disney is introducing a variety of stories. Disney is simply changing a topic into something similar that seems different. You're doing the fucking same thing that has turned you into a meme. The stories are more clever sometimes, like they have really genius peaks, but still I think that the main point of having a movie production house is telling everything that can concern humans. Explore, please. Not only because it will give you more money, but also because people need to have more stories. I was totally confused with Red. You have released Encanto 2 months ago, you can't do the same movie again. So when I'm doing this video, there is a new movie that is going to be released, and I have not watched it yet, Strange World. It seems a really adventurous movie with this really good world building that I saw from the trailers. I just hope that they will face whatever they want, but please not focus the whole movie on family again. Don't release the same topic in 3 movies all in a row. So let me know what you think about it, if you also consider Disney to be monothematic, if you think there is something else that I missed. Please let me know because I'm really curious. I want it to be a discussion. And que schifo. Pigeons. You know, I could play Elsa for kids. No, it's fine. It's a movie that came out. So So Raya, she's great. Because like you really feel engaged. I think she's a good villain because you really hate her, because she always appears in the situations where the story could be getting to the end, and then she appears and you're like, fuck, it's a suggestion.